Welcome to EDU World Space.
Good day. The topic is about reactivity of elements, in particular for metals which lose electrons during a reaction. The more readily that the metal lose electron, the more reactive the metal is. So again, if the metal loses electrons more readily, then or the easier that the electron can be removed from the metal atom, then the metal is more reactive. So consider calcium and magnesium. Now, calcium is found below magnesium in the periodic table, and the periodic trend tells us that as we go down the group or column of the periodic table, the size of the atom increases. So since Ca or calcium is found below Mg, Ca is larger than Mg. Since the electrons are farther from the nucleus in calcium ion than in magnesium ion due to the innate large size of calcium, it follows that it can be the electrons or the outermost electrons of calcium can be easily removed from the atom itself. So this entails that calcium is more reactive than magnesium. Now let us consider calcium and potassium. So calcium is found in the second group of the periodic table and thus contains two valence electrons, whereas potassium is found in the first group and thus contains one valence electron. Now, calcium needs to remove or needs to donate or to lose two electrons, whereas potassium needs to lose only one electron. So since there is lesser electrons that needs to be removed from potassium than in calcium, it follows that potassium readily reacts far faster than calcium. So we put it as since calcium, or rather potassium, contains one valence electron. So by the way, valence electron is the outermost electron that needs to be lost by the metal in order to react. Potassium readily reacts than calcium. So again, comparing calcium and magnesium, we said that calcium is larger and thus the electrons of calcium are farther away from the nucleus than the electrons of magnesium. It follows that it's more easier or it's easier to remove the electrons from calcium than from magnesium. Hence, calcium is more reactive. And comparing calcium and potassium, since calcium contains two valence electrons, whereas potassium only contains one, the single valence electron of potassium is more readily or can be readily lost than the two electrons of calcium. Hence, the reactivity of potassium is greater than that of calcium. So I hope